In the half-second between pressing enter and seeing a page, your request crosses oceans, passes a dozen routers, proves its identity with cryptography, and triggers over 100 follow-up downloads. A web address like youtube.com means nothing to the network. The cables and routers only understand numbers, encrypted bytes, and addressed packets. Something has to translate a human name into a precise sequence of network actions that find one specific server out of billions of devices and pull a page back to your screen, reliably and securely. That entire translation is invisible, and most people have no idea it is even happening. Your browser runs a fixed pipeline every single time. It resolves the name to an address, opens a reliable connection to that address, encrypts the connection and verifies who it is talking to, requests the page, then parses and renders what comes back, fetching dozens more files along the way. Each stage uses a different protocol, and each one must finish before the next can begin. 1. The browser first checks its own caches and the operating system cache for the IP. And if it is missing, it asks a DNS resolver, which walks the route, the .com servers, and the site's authoritative name server to return an address like 142.250.190.78. 2. With the IP known, the browser opens a TCP connection using the three-way handshake SYN, SYNCK, ACK, which agrees on starting sequence numbers so data can arrive in order. 3. For an HTTPS site, it then runs a TLS handshake, where the server presents a certificate signed by a trusted authority. Both sides verify it, and they derive a shared encryption key without ever sending it in the clear. 4. The browser sends an HTTP GET request naming the exact path, and the server responds with a status code like 200 OK and the HTML body. 5. The browser parses the HTML into a DOM tree and discovers references to CSS, JavaScript, fonts, and images, firing a new request for each one, often over the same connection using HTTP/2 multiplexing. 6. The CSS builds a style tree. JavaScript may modify the page, and the browser combines everything into a render tree it can paint. 7. The browser calculates the position of every element in a layout step, then paints pixels to the screen, often progressively, as more files arrive. 8. Connections may stay open with keep alive, so later clicks skip the handshake cost entirely. Loading youtube.com triggers well over 100 separate network requests for thumbnails, scripts, and styles, and on a connection 100 milliseconds away, the DNS, TCP, and TLS setup alone can cost roughly 300 milliseconds before the first byte of HTML arrives. People think the whole page arrives in one download. It does not. Only the HTML comes first. The browser then reads that HTML to discover every other file the page needs and downloads each one in a separate request, which is why pages often appear in pieces. One URL fires a strict chain, DNS, TCP, TLS, HTTP, then parse and render, and the page is assembled from dozens or hundreds of separate downloads, not one. I rebuild one invisible internet process from scratch every single day on this channel. So subscribe to Tech with Joel. Which stage of this journey did you never realize was happening? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe to Tech with Joel.